This video is a presentation of the research paper, Death of the English Language and Literacy, that I wrote for English 102 Fall Semester 2014. When I sat down to write my English paper, I knew I wanted it to be on the topic of the changes in vocabulary and vernacular. I have 2 teenagers myself, and I hear the phrases LOL in my house and tech speak all the time, and I thought it was interesting. But I also noticed that in the kids' homework, a lot of it was working into the homework too, and there seems to be some kind of blurred line between when that kind of speak and actual grammar should be intact, and I wanted to explore that topic. I wondered if the social media was having an effect on grades in school and English grammar and that type of thing. What I learned throughout the research was it's basically kind of a split on the ideals of if this is damaging to our language or not. The one camp definitely thinks that it's a negative, having social media is having a negative impact on our children's grammar and the English language, and that we are degrading and sliding into a less articulate society. And then the other thinks that the change in grammar is okay, that they show that throughout history the English language has changed. In my own time, you run across words that aren't used anymore, or you run across new words that have just been added to the dictionary. So I agree with that. The English language does change, but I feel like there's a kind of a fuzzy area that's a difference between what's grammar and what is the English language. I don't think it's all necessarily the same. So my paper kind of morphed, and it just covered whether or not social media was having a negative effect on literacy in general. Did the abundant computer use affect literacy? And if you look at the old definition of literacy, it was the ability to read, write, and use language in an effective manner. And what I found through my research is not only has language changed, the definition of literacy itself has changed. There is no longer literacy, it is now digital literacy. And what that means is the person now to be considered literate, you not only have to be able to read and write, you have to be able to read and write and type and understand not just where to find the information, but the uses of how you can use that information, store that information, and that type of thing. So literacy itself has changed. The thesis statement for my paper was the internet is not killing the English language or literacy, it is simply redefining it. My paper ended up being discussion showing whether or not the internet had a positive or a negative effect on the English language and literacy. I found a report by Loft that stated that digital media has impacted us to the point now that 79% of adults get their news from the internet rather than read a newspaper like they did 10 years ago. There was a study printed by Borowski that I included in my paper that stated that the use of digital technology and media has not only changed the things that our children learn or how early they learn them, but it has actually changed the way that they learn. That a child that is raised in the environment of a computer learns better with a computer and does not pick up the materials as easily from text, whereas someone from my generation that didn't grow up with a computer in the house, I learn better by actually reading it on a book than picking it up on the computer screen. So what the study showed was that the predominant use of the internet has actually changed the way that people learn now. The way our children learn is not the way that we learned. So it was a very interesting study for me. I enjoyed this video. I look forward to watching all of your presentations if we get that opportunity, and thanks for watching. See ya.